everybody. We are going to be channeling my neighborhood queen fairy queen. She's just down the street, and she's the second one that I've ever met. I've only met two in my life, and really fairies were not on my radar as of, I would say, about 12 years ago. I started to feel like fairies were around me in a location where I used to live. And how did I know they were around me? You know, when you're walking in an area and it just becomes really peaceful, and it kind of has like a magical element to it. I don't know how else to explain it than that. It's very peaceful, it's very magical, and I lived up top of this mount. It wasn't like a full mountain, it was a little mini mountain, and there were a lot of trees, and there were a lot of greenery there, and I just always felt like when I was out walking, I wasn't out walking by myself, and you just always felt like a magical element to it, like you're walking into another frequency. Most of us are quite busy, but now we are slowing down long enough to pick up on the vibrational frequencies that are around us, that are helping us, that are guiding us. So when I was walking around where I used to live, I was very drawn to purchasing some books in regards to fairies, because really I didn't know much about fairies at all. One of the things that I read was that if you are really drawn to fairies or connected with fairies, that you'll be drawn to picking up garbage and debris off the ground. And I was like, well, that's me. And you love being out in nature, and you love trees, and just, you know, you're just connected with nature. I said, that's me too. So then when I had I've had a QHHT session. I've had the same individual also, look up some of my past lives. And so some of our souls can try on that frequency. I've never seen a soul try on that frequency here on Earth. I've seen this frequency tried on over on a Pleiadian planet. So they have like these fairy type energies there, and my soul tried that on around about 100 times. But I know other people in my life, such as Ashley Cunningham. Ashley Cunningham is also on YouTube, so if you like, go and check her out. You just type in Ashley Cunningham, and there she will be. Another medium that I love connecting with. She's going to be helping me with the upcoming Mediumship 102 course coming up April 22nd till the 29th. And she's going to be helping me out with the Mediumship for Beginners course coming up June 15th until the 30th. So she is more connected with the fairies than myself, and she's had more experiences trying on that frequency than me. What do I mean by trying it on? I mean like as in incarnating, trying on that frequency. Right now I'm trying on a human. I'm trying on this experience and seeing how I like it. Although I know this isn't my first time, ain't my first rodeo, if you know what I mean. So some of the characteristics that you've tried on that frequency is you're really good at multitasking. You can handle like, I don't know, 8 to 10, maybe 12 thoughts in one go, and I can manage all of that all at once. And there are times where I look around at other people and I go, they just can't seem to do that. And I'm really comfortable here on Earth. I'm comfortable with nature. I'm comfortable with the elements. And yeah, so it's been pretty cool to learn that about myself. So there's Ashley. I was just talking about you, you little fairy queen yourself. And so yeah, Ashley has more of a broader perspective fairies than myself. She's just more in tune, in touch with fairies. Although I think I'm getting pretty good over time. Well, they obviously keep approaching me and wanting to converse with me, so there's a reason for that, right? So in the past on my YouTube channel, Kristin Davies, you guys have seen me, you know, I've channeled sprites. That was fascinating. Totally different than fairies. I've channeled fairies before. I think this is about my third or fourth time channeling fairies. So there's other fairy, you know, channelings on my YouTube channel. But I've never channeled the fairy queen, okay? So the first time I was in contact with a fairy queen is when I went off to a little island with a friend of mine on vacation. I'll link that video at the end of this one on my YouTube channel. At the very end of this video, you'll see it there so you can watch it. And my experience with about 75 fairies flooding the cabin to work with us. It was really fascinating what they looked like, what they felt like. It was completely different than the fairies that I have down the street here. These fairies are off in the wilderness, in the woods, and they were a different color. Yeah, different fairies. Yeah, different color, different size. They were there for a different reason, and there was a head or queen fairy there as well, and she was the main one that was talking to me. It was really fascinating. I could see fairy wings fluttering off the side of my friend's head, and I looked at the fairy and I said, "What are you doing?" And the fairy said, "He was in there." He's like, I'm removing what's no longer needed." That's what he said to me. So any of the heavy frequency, any of the heavy thoughts, he was in there working in his head. And I was having a good laugh. I'm like, well, you're going to be there for a while. Because at the time, he really needed that. Like, greatly needed that. So 75 lined up to come in to that cabin to work on him. They weren't really working on me. They were working on him. And he was like, what's happening? I feel this and I'm feeling that. What's that on my leg? Like, he was feeling them on his leg. Then he was seeing some energy, some white, clear, translucent wings as well as myself. It was really cool. I thought, holy smokes, this is amazing. So I'm going to put that video at the very end, okay? And I'm also going to link that video at the very bottom in the comments area of this video so that you can get a idea of what that experience was like. Because we were out in the woods. There was no running away, people. But, you know, once you get, you know, okay, well, they're fairies. They were, you know, this big, and they were translucent blue and white, and it was, oh, it was so cool. It was so cool, that experience. Now, the experience down the street is a little different. This is a collection of fairies with a portal of fairies coming up from the earth in an area where they're not allowing a development of a house. They call it a communal area, so they have like these wooden benches built for the neighbors in the area to come and sit there, along with the trees and grass and flowers. So you can go and sit there and enjoy that fairy energy. Although I'm not sure if the neighbors really know that fairy energy is there. It is there. Maybe that's why there's a portal of energy from the fairies there, because it's a communal area for the neighbors to go and sit there and enjoy the, it's not a park, it's just a in between two houses where a house is not allowed to be built, and these giant old trees. And you can go and sit there, and they have built a swing tied to the tree, and you can swing on the swing and sit on the benches, and there's just fairies everywhere. And I knew it as soon as I walked past. Yeah, Ashley came there with me, and she's saying it was a bit overwhelming when we were sitting there. Yeah, because they're very busy. So some of them are paying attention to us being there, and some of them don't even care that we are there. They don't care because they're so busy working that they're like, yeah, we're busy, we're working. Do you remember that, Ashley? Like how, like they were all over the place, and there were different colors. So this is like a portal of fairies coming in through a portal of energy from the earth in between these trees there, and they're very busy. And sometimes they'll come down the street depending on what I need, and you know, I'll feel them landing on my face, like a, you know, on my face. Or if I'm watching something, you know, like me and Ashley, we were watching something a little low vibrational because it was like an elemental fairy type program with Orlando Bloom, but it was a little heavy. It was a little bit low vibrational, a little PG rated. Hey, Ashley, remember that? Ashley came to my house for the first time. We were watching like this PG rated scene. I'm like laughing, looking at her. All you could do was laugh. Me and Ashley cracking up. Oh, that was so funny. But basically there was this fairy in this TV show, and it was a bit hot and heavy, and I was like, and Ashley was laughing too. It was hilarious. So anyway, so what ended up happening is, you know, myself, Ashley, we were sitting there and we noticed like this feeling off of us. It was like this. Okay. So I asked them, what are you doing? It was mainly off my my lower extremities, from my chest down. Yeah. She's saying they helped to block the energy from that show, and also remove the energy from us. So they were like removing the energy off of us. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And I kept saying a few times to Ashley, I was like, I don't know if I can keep watching this show. It's pretty heavy, and I don't think I want to keep watching it, because it was, you know, anything heavy in frequency is amplified right now. So that's why you really don't want to place your attention and focus there too long, because whatever is heavy, you're going to amplify that right now by focusing on that. Just with this frequency coming in, it's really amplifying everything. So really best to keep your attention and your focus high vibrational. And you know, that's what this live is all about today. It's about bringing in high vibrational frequencies and having fun. And that is the most important thing of all. So there's this queen fairy there along with the other fairies. Some of the fairies were like a beautiful blue and copper colored, and like pink colored. And so this queen always has a chat with me about what's going on in my life and giving guidance every time I go there. I haven't even asked her name, so I'd like to know her name today too. So I'm just going to bring her forward. And she has a distinct frequency, okay? She's completely different than the queen fairy over where I was on vacation. And that's really cool. And she stays over there with that collective of fairies. And I'm going to ask her a few questions about her purpose. Does she go to other locations, or does she predominantly stay there? And so, yes, I'm going to ask her a few questions here. Okay, so she's just moved in behind me. I'm very accustomed to her frequency because I go down and visit her at that area just down the street. Yeah. Okay, so let's just see what she'd like to say. She says, thank you, everyone. It is an honor to be able to step forward in this way. Many of you are curious about fairies, and rightly so. For many of us are making our presence more well known. We are stepping forward more so that each of you can sense and feel our frequency. We are nudging you to come outside, to ground yourselves, to collect garbage, to clean up your environment, to think twice before leaving debris behind. Oh. So yesterday I went down to the lake, and people had left garbage down there, and I had collected the garbage and put it into the garbage can. And she's aware of this. So she's saying yesterday, this one collected garbage. Yes, drinking cups and styrofoam near a lake near my home, it is really important to remember that what you leave behind stays there and affects the environment. It affects the earth. It affects the water. It affects the animals. She's talking about once we begin learning and once we begin focusing in and learning more about self-love and raising our own vibrational frequencies, that much will shift here on the earth, and we will treat others with more compassion and love, and including the earth herself. We will treat her a lot better as well. Thank you. Okay, can you turn it up just a little bit? She's a little softer than the other one. Now she's flooding her energy in through the back of my head. So then she just pulls in more energy to turn up the volume. Okay? Now it's my job to get out of the way, right? So if you want to hear energy speaking with you, you need to still your mind. Because if your mind is racing, it's going to be very difficult to pick up on what they're saying. That's why you'll see me tune out. She's talking about soon there will be more fairies arriving through these portals of energy through the earth, similar or like the one just down the street where she resides. There will be more flooding forth from this location and many other locations globally. They are coming here to help us lift and raise our vibrational frequencies, to make changes, necessary changes on the planet, for the planet. This is really about, survival. In order to survive long term on the planet, at the pace that we're going at, we're going to need to make some changes. And they're going to help us make these changes moving forward. She just said, thank you, lovely. She's calling me lovely. Okay, so she's ready to take some of your questions. While you're typing some of your questions for her, I'm going to ask her a few questions, okay? First question is, what is your name? She's calling herself Andronia. Isn't that beautiful? Andronia. It's gorgeous. You can call her the Queen Fairy or the Head Fairy that oversees the collective of fairies that are located in this region, in this area. So are there many different fairies coming, because they all look different, a little bit of a different sizing and different colors in that region? Yes, yes, yes. And they all have a different purpose and reason for why they are located there. And are you or any of the other fairies in that region going to be relocating into other areas or staying? No, she's staying. She just brought my attention right back to that street in that location. She went, ooh. So I'm looking at it in my mind. So we're staying there and helping the neighborhood from that region. So they come out from that region and then they go and they help the entire blocks and city area in that. Yeah, that's exactly how it's spelt, Ashley. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Yeah, they like to land on my face, and sometimes at night when I'm going to sleep, I'll have one land on my forehead. Okay, So Regina would like to know if there are any fairies resided within her home or around her home. Yes. Oh, it's very light. I'm getting yes, yes, yes. Mainly outside your home, although at times they enter your home when you need them, when your family needs them, helping to lift and raise your frequencies, helping to pull you and get you outside to ground you. Now they're just saying, thank you, Kristin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Totally different than angels. Okay? And I see them as being blue in color. There are others that are different colors, she's telling me, but the ones that are predominantly around your house are blue in color. Like, not a dark blue, but like a lighter blue. A translucent blue. Okay. Okay. What type of question do you have, Davina, for the fairies? Okay. Do you have a specific question for them? Because that's what I'm looking for. So if you have a specific question, I'm coming to you. I can get way more for you if you have a very specific question. Oh, you just simply ask them, Lisa. You just say, hey, fairies, if you're here, I know you can hear me. Just like that. And you know, everybody works in tandem on the other side. So we have the angels, and we have your spirit guides, and we have your loved ones, and we have the archangels, and then we have the ascended masters, and then we have source that is everywhere, permeating through everyone. And so we are a part of that frequency. So it doesn't take much for them to hear you asking the fairies for assistance and go and get the fairies' attention and bring them over to help you. So whichever fairies are closest around you, they will go and get. Suki would like to know, do the fairies... I'm getting a big yes, even before I ask the question. So, okay, so... So they do hear you. Your angels hear you as well. Okay? Boy, you are really surrounded over there. I can tell you that much. I can just tell by the warm energy behind me, and it's expanding out. So it's really telling me that you have a lot of energy that is there with you, looking over, watching over you, with you. Mm-hmm. And they're really smiling and happy. So keep talking with them in your mind or outside your mind, or write it down. Either way, they're all hearing you. Okay. They just dusted off their hands, so I'm moving along. How do you bring fairies into your own? Simply ask. Simply ask. Simply ask. So if you want fairies in your own yard, if you want more of a collection of fairies around your home, simply ask. That's what I'm getting. Do the fairies fly around? Yes. Your pet bunny? Yes. The answer is yes. They're attracted, the fairies are attracted to certain vibrational frequency, okay? So animals, and if your frequency is higher, then they're going to be attracted to you. If you call upon them, or you go to visit them, or you notice them, you notice their energy, they're going to notice that you notice their energy. So, and the more open and expanded you become, the more open your upper chakras are, the more you ascend, the easier it is for the energy on the other side to even notice you. You're shining brighter. So it's very easy for them to pick up on you walking by. Are fairy spirits like souls? Okay, similar or like angels. Angels have been created for a certain purpose. Fairies have also been created for a certain purpose. Okay, so that's one section of it. Okay. And that purpose is to help the vibrational frequency of the planets in which they reside. Some souls can try on that frequency for a time. They can try on that energy for short times. Similar or like how we are trying on a human vessel. Or we're trying on this frequency. And we're not only trying on this frequency here within our bodies as a human being, and with the collective consciousness here as well, impacting and affecting us, but we are also trying on this planet's vibrational frequency. Everything is, this Queen Fairy is saying, everything is temporary, okay? So your soul is expanding and growing and looking for exponential growth. So it is learning, watching, observing, resting, frolicking, observing, having fun, learning, growing on the other side. All of that on the other side, as well as temporarily housing itself in these experiences to learn and grow from, including trying on fairy energy. Now, not all souls want to try on fairy energy. You know, not all souls want to, not all souls want to try on Pleiadian or, you know, Andromedan or Lyran. It depends on the vibrational frequency that you're more of a match with, is what and what you're interested in and what you want to learn and grow from. She's also saying it depends on, you know, in our soul groups, a lot of the souls that are, you know, in our soul groups, they try on different frequencies too, and we might be swayed to join them. And maybe that's why I chose Earth, huh? So, you know, like, oh, well, okay, my spirit team, some of my soulmates are trying on this frequency, so I'll go over here and try this on to learn and grow with them. But then some souls, she says, don't, and they choose to go their own way, their own path, predominantly. Most souls enjoy experiences with their soulmates from their soul groups. So how can one see the fairies? She says predominantly it'll be up in your mind, okay? You may see different energies outside of your mind, okay? Flickers, different sources of light that come and go. Or you know that there's energy, you can feel it in a certain area, but predominantly if you relax your mind, you will be able to see all the fairies and the energies around you, right? So that is all about stilling your mind and just tuning out and then scanning the area and seeing what colors arise in your mind. Where are they located? So you're feeling, ooh, there's some energy here, and you're relaxing your mind, and then you're picking up on what colors they're showing and what size, what they look like, and it'll all produce itself in your mind while you're being pulled energetically in a certain direction. Okay. Okay, so Davina is in the forest. What is transpiring when she's in the forest? What I'm receiving is that you're surrounded. So it's not just the fairies that are surrounding you when you're in the forest, helping you. They're cleansing you. They're removing low vibrational frequency, helping to lift your vibrational frequency. Talking about they are helping you smile. So I don't know if you feel like there's been a time in your life where you haven't felt like smiling for a while, but they're helping you smile. Laugh and smile. That's fascinating, Davina. It's a gradual process for some to shift their frequencies, so it takes some time, and it's important that we are out in nature so that the elemental energies can help lift and raise our vibrational frequencies and clear us. You know, we could sit here and say, oh, like, how heavy am I that, you know, the elementals got to clear me every time I go out into the forest. But, you know, the simplest of things, like you turn on the news or you're watching some low vibrational movie or TV show, okay, all of that has its own frequency, and then you think it's no big deal, but that is going to be cleansed from you the moment that you walk out into the forest. You have like a little argument or a tiff with someone, or someone's energy is influencing your energy from within your home, and so they're a little bit heavier in frequency than you, and you're not too good at putting up your own boundaries. So then when you go out into the forest, they're going to clear that from you. So it's really fascinating. Definitely awesome. They want you to keep going out into the forest often and go for as long of a walk as you wish, and they will work on you and with you the entire time that you're out there walking in that forest. If you feel pulled outside, go outside. There's a reason why you're being pulled outside, and that message goes for everyone. Good, Tara. Very good. Picking up garbage in your local areas. We all need to step it up big time. You know, how are we going to change this world? We're going to change here first and make different decisions, choices, and actions here first. And then as we feel guided, if Spirit started to guide me in a direction to take more action steps to help the planet in a different way, you bet I'd be on it. I'd be out there and I'd be doing a lot more, even more. And some of us will be guided to do more. And then as you're being guided, that's up to you to take those action steps to move in that direction. Oh, I love that, Paula. Okay. So predominantly with everyone here, what types of fairies are with them? Are they all different fairies, depending on what each person needs? Okay, so this fairy queen is saying that your vibrational frequency determines what frequency you attract and also what frequency you call forth into your reality. So if you are higher in vibrational frequency, then you are attracting and calling in higher vibrational frequencies to reside with you and around you and to help you. Just like if you focus on the lower vibrational aspects in your realities, you can also call upon lower vibrational frequencies that may tend to run amok. She's saying running amok, okay? She doesn't want us to be worried or fearful about this because there is much more light here than otherwise. And the light, the high vibrational beings that surround you are aware of what is transpiring and will guide you accordingly and help to shift you out of that frequency. Because she says it's never about what is going on around you. It will always stem from what is going on within you. That will determine the experience that you are having in your life, or the experiences that you're having in your life will be determined upon your own frequency, your own thoughts, your emotions, what you fixate upon. And you know, some people like to drone on, and they love drama, and they fixate on the lower vibrational aspects in their lives, always syncing their frequency, and then syncing the frequency of those around them as well. So you can hand that all off to the fairies, and they will help you shift your attention and your focus elsewhere. And what will happen is the lower vibrational individuals and aspects, experiences in your reality will kind of just gently shift out of your life. And then you will attract in more high vibrational people and experiences and frequency. Isn't that cool? So the fairies can help you do that. Isn't that great? There are different fairies helping us with different things. Some of the fairies are more house fairies, helping within the house. Some are predominantly out in nature. Some are working more around the water. And the ones, she wants to bring me back, the ones that are working with us within our homes, they come and go, and they are assisting us, like keeping, how do you explain that? Keeping the energy in our home more high vibrational, cleaning the home's energy, but also helping us to organize and keep our homes more organized, helping us think about more environmental, sustainable products to purchase and to own. She's even showing me like the vehicles that we use polluting the air. And so having us redirecting our thoughts maybe to like electric vehicles and vehicles that aren't polluting our planet as much. But there's more coming in the future. She's talking about other vehicles being created that are going to be even better and more sustainable for the planet. And that will make a huge impact. And these vehicles that we're driving now will be a thing of the past. This is what's going to happen in years to come down the road. How cool is that? So they're all orchestrating, she says, on the other side in order to lift our own vibrational frequencies and help us to make better decisions, choices, and actions. If you enjoy gardening and you enjoy going outdoors, you are working with fairies. There are fairies in your garden. If you enjoy relaxing or more fun, relaxing activities within your home, you can be rest assured that there are high vibrational frequencies such as fairies helping guide you to sit. And they're showing something like knitting or crocheting. Like if you're just relaxing, knitting and crocheting, or drawing, painting, or writing poetry, all these very enjoyable things that you do, creative type of activities. Well, we can speak for Ashley Cunningham. She loves doing these types of activities, and I know she's surrounded by fairies. So Patty wants to know if fairies had shown themselves or if she had seen fairies in her garage. There's more than just fairies in your garage. That's the first thing they're saying, okay? So there's a collective of energy all working in tandem with you. I'm seeing angels, your spirit guides coming and going, fairies. There's other elementals. I'm seeing sprites. Sprites and fairies. Okay. And then, of course, your guardian angels. And you have archangels coming and going. all high vibrational frequency within your home. Okay? That's what they're saying. This is all high vibrational frequency. So that's really good. They're just saying to me, thank you, dear one. All right. Cool. Well, you know, I didn't have any understanding about fairies either. I was like, oh, okay. And then they rushed in the room in a cabin on an island. And even my friend, who is not open at all, he was like, what is happening? Because even he felt the rush of 75 fairies coming in the room. At first, I just had to quiet myself to see what was happening and to hear and see. And then I saw this long lineup of fairies out the door, and I was like, oh my God. But, you know, rather than focusing on seeing fairies, I feel what is most important is feeling the fairies around you. It feels there's a very still, magical quality around you. And then if you feel a lot of movement and wispiness, still your mind and look over in that direction, and then just allow the colors and the sizes of them, etc., to form in your mind. Occasionally you might see a brownie, like I saw a glowing orange brownie go around in the park. I was watching it, and then I went to the base of the tree, and then I went down in the tree. But how often am I seeing that outside my mind? Not as often. So really relax your mind and let them form in your mind. So would you consider yourself like a cousin to the angels? Different. Both high vibrational, but different frequency. Operating differently, different vibrational frequency. Different, just different. But they work in conjunction with one another. That's cool. So in the future, what I'd like to do is to sit, and I'm going to have an individual sit and ask a lot of different questions on certain different topics, and then I'm going to channel the guidance for each of these questions. I did this long ago in the very beginning of my YouTube channel, in the very first videos of my YouTube channel, and I'd like to do that again because there's just so much that comes out and so many cool questions to ask, and names and all sorts of things that I had no idea about any of that, but I relay that as I channel it, and I'm really excited to be doing that in May. Are you happy with plants, wind chimes, and those types of things? I'm getting yes repeatedly. And you know, now that I think about it, I remember being quite unwell when I was in my 20s, and I felt so drawn to purchasing a big thing of wind chimes. I had to have it, and I hung it inside the house, and I'd go over and ring it from time to time, and it really brought me a lot of peace. So maybe that's a sign right there. If you like to hang things in the window that are glittery and like little rainbows all over the room from crystals and stuff, I think that's another indicator too. Anything that's going to bring in some magical elements into your life, pay attention to that, because there's likely a frequency and energy that is guiding you to get those wind chimes, to get those little crystals and hang them in your window, to be out and smelling the flowers and gardening and planting and walking out in nature, for sure. Davina, they absolutely hear you. The moment that you're out, whether you're in your house or out of your house, everything is an energy, a signal that you send out. Your thought forms are like energy, and they pick up on them like that. It's no big deal for them to pick up on what you're thinking or what you're speaking. They hear it all. Even like, here's this queen fairy who's down the street. She knew that I was picking up garbage at my local lake yesterday. Okay, so she already knows that. It doesn't take much for them to know what's going on. I think here on Earth we have a very limited type of perspective in thinking, well, if nobody saw me do it, nobody knows. But, you know, here on the other side, it's very high vibrational. There's like, they're guiding us and helping us. There's no ego here. And they're just aware of all of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. There's nothing hidden here because everything is energy and you're sending that out and they pick up on it very easily. No problem. Okay, so I'm going to come down to the bottom and answer a couple more questions. Yeah, like if you're going along and you're out in nature and you feel like laughing and you're feeling very frolicking and high vibrational and giddy, there's an energy around you helping you feel that way. If it's out of the blue and you're like, what is happening? There's an energy there. Likely the fairies helping you feel that way, to laugh and to smile. Good. If you start to just like hum and sing and you just feel compelled to do that, I would say you likely have the fairies around you, or you might have a music angel around you and you're humming and singing for a reason. They are helping you do that in order to lift your frequency. Or playing a lot of music, and it's very high, you know, enjoyable music. It also helps to lift your frequency. And that's the main goal here, is to help lift our frequency. Yeah. Well, Sangeeta, let's not question why you're feeling that way, why you feel scared, or why you feel fear. We don't need to delve into that, but it's your responsibility, your you know, for your own well-being, that you hand off that fear and worry repeatedly to your angels so that they can transmute that for you and help lift your frequency. Because I can tell you right now, the fairies, the angels, the archangels, the ascended masters, my loved ones on the other side do not care for me to be worried or fearful. They're not sitting there like, why aren't you worried and fearful, Kristin? Why aren't you having fear-based thoughts, Kristin? Nobody on the other side is having fearful or worrisome thoughts. They can't even house that frequency. They've transmuted it all as they cross over. So the ego loves to run amok, and you can hang on to that heaviness if you want to, but I think it's really our responsibilities at this point on Earth to hand off that low vibrational thoughts and feelings and emotions to our angels and ask them to help us with these specific things so that we can lift our frequency and free ourselves, is what they call it. The angels say, free yourself. That is so cool, Julianne. If you're married to a low vibrational person, then I would call the fairies in and the angels in, and I would ask them to help you with that situation so that their frequency doesn't affect you as much, and they can help to shift their frequency so that it's not affecting you as much. Because, you know, with your free will being impacted and affected by their energy, you do have the right to call in these high vibrational energies to help you. Okay, so I must be off. I've been a busy girl these days, surprisingly so. So, how cool is that? I'll tell you, Mount Shasta is like seriously magical. You know, when you walk into a frequency and you're like, wow, it's like really wonderful energy, and it's just, you know, there's a lot more going on there than what meets the eyes. That is definitely that place. That's how I felt when I moved to this location where I am now. I was like, wow, it's so magical here, and everybody's so happy here, and everyone's just frolicking and having fun. And I see stuff here that I never see anywhere else. You know, nobody's really caring about what they look like or what they're doing. I see people in their 50s, you know, skating around on scooters and having their own built vehicles that are different, and they're just living the life. They don't care. Their main goal in life is to have fun and to enjoy it. You don't want to end up crossing over at the end of your lifetime as a soul and then saying, oh, I didn't really live this life. All I did was work and go through the motions of getting things done that I needed to get done. So you want to enjoy and live life, because that's why we're here. We're here to enjoy and live this experience. So if you put that intention out, the energies that are around you helping you will help guide you in a certain direction in the future. And you don't need to know how it's going to redirect, because the how is not up to you. But the asking for help is. So if you want to move more in a magical, high vibrational, enjoyable direction, that's what it's all about. Yeah. You know, like attracts like. So if you want more high vibrational energy, thoughts, emotions, people, experiences, jobs, careers, locations where you live, all to be more high vibrational, look right here. Look right here, because that's where it's going to stem from. First, ask your team to help move in that direction. And then secondly, work on self-love, self-care, lifting your own frequency up. A lot of people want to sit back and complain about what is rather than doing something about it. I'm not one of those people. And I like to guide people in a direction of bare minimum, asking your angels to help you move in this direction. And then let's see what happens. Oh yeah, the fairies, the angels, everyone will reorchestrate around you and through you and in your life to make that happen. You bet they will. All right, you guys have a wonderful Friday. And there's only a couple spots left for the 102 course coming up. You do not need to take the Mediumship for Beginners course to come into the 102 course. If you want to sign up for any of these courses coming up, I have them in April, June, and July, and September is coming. And you can go to kristindaviesmedium.com and look under services. You can also look under testimonials and see a whole bunch of testimonials there as well. Love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. All of you who are signed up for the 102, can't wait to see you on Wednesday, because it's going to be full throttle right out the gate. Can't wait.